Hey guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, I am out and about. I got my plugs in. Yes. Yeah, I took my dogs out. Let me show you. I will show my little crew with me. I got the crew. Yes, that's still Lily. She's recuperating from her surgery. You have to get her stitches out soon. This is Lavender, and that's little Lilac. Yeah, little Peanut. Yeah, and we're out at Central Park. Yeah, it's beautiful out, and I just wanted to take some time. I'm glad the sun is coming out because it was starting to drizzle. Yeah, I just wanna come to the park again to try to unwind. Yeah, I'm very thankful for this park. You hear the birds chirp. Yeah. Today, yeah, this is Spirit Journey. If I didn't give my channel name, Spirit Journey channel. And today is June 4, 2020. I think in the description I might have accidentally put down the second, but it's June 4, 2020, and it's afternoon. It feels like 2 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, yeah. I just want to get off more stuff off my chest, but I first want to give my thanks. I want to thank the Creator for this sunshine. I want to thank the Creator for my life. And maybe I may not understand why I am here, but the higher ups know everything. So I have to be in good hands. I like to feel that way. I know things could really be worse. And today is the memorial for George Floyd. Yeah, I'm not sure the date when they're going to have his funeral, but yes, my condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Floyd. Yeah, I come to this park, Central Park. This is Central Park. I come here, it's my way of celebrating life. I think a lot of times people forget what life is. Well, life is a spectrum. It's a broad spectrum, and it's from the crib to that final sunset. You know. I hope you guys could hear me. But no matter how much time in life I have, I want to live it honorably. And I think I think all of life, I should say, I always try to do the right thing. You ever feel like you try to do the right thing, but you're misunderstood and you're despised? You have people who are jealous. They're jealous of your existence. And rather than being jealous, forget that other person is standing next to you and just look at yourself and do things to better yourself. Being to better yourself isn't about being better than the next person. It's about being your personal best, right? Because let's say your personal best is you're able to do 5 push-ups. And when you discover the person next to you could only do 2, and then you clap for joy. That is nothing to brag about. But let's say that is your personal best to do 5 push-ups, and you were able to do it with, let's say, with a pinky. It's about being your personal best. And I think this society that we live in, people want to always try to outdo the other person. It's driven. It's driven to be on top. And it happens to such a extent that that's, I think, what also motivated the killing of Mr. Floyd, George Floyd. It was a supremacy going there, a white supremacy, a Masonic supremacy. Being if you're an outsider or something, supremacy, when someone puts their knee on your neck, you got 3 other people holding them down. Do you think that's really impressive? It's cowardice. And it's a shame some men want to become police officers because they can't win a fight with their bare hands, so they become a cop so they can carry a gun and so that they can shoot and kill someone who they don't like or someone who challenges their own macho-ness, right? And then you claim, oh, I was afraid, I thought I saw a gun. Human beings, we can be better than that. Men, your macho-ness shouldn't be about subjugating people. I think this whole subjugation stuff comes out, at least in the U.S. Because remember, the U.S. was a British colony. So you have an aristocracy, the crown, who have their ventures throughout the globe, subjugating people, raping the women when they go, at impunity. Okay, let me just cover them up. It's the sun on them. Sorry about that. Okay, I hope I got, yeah, okay. Sorry about that. I had to put a little covering over the dog. The sun is really hot right now. But yeah, because remember, the royal house, that an aristocracy, they had, the king, they had the right to another man's wife. Let's say a couple's about to get married during the time when the king or queen was absolute power. There's a terminology, but I don't remember the term. But it gives him the right to take away a woman's virginity before the husband does. It's a way of marking his territory. He's saying, I own this womb. It's to humiliate. And I think it's an evil. And then in history, there was a famine in Europe. But it wasn't a real famine. It was, excuse me, it was something that was crafted by design. The food, and not distributing the food, to create a scarcity to force these Europeans to move overseas to the Americas. Yeah. See how sneaky? So if you're coming from that type of environment, where your own people, but the government that you are under is evil, and have access to your wives, and they cannot get in trouble. Uh, it brings about a mistrust. And with this mistrust, when these Europeans came to the Americas, and when the introduction of slaves from Africa came about, and they're easily identifiable, a Western European and a West African, you know, it's a no-brainer. You can tell who's who. And so, these people, for the first time, was able to have property or promise property after, let's say, 7 years of indentured servitude. And then you get a taste of power. You give a poor person who's poor generationally under the thumb of the crown, and you have people who have a status as slave and shackles on their bodies. And then they try to hold it. Then they try to, these nouveau rich tries to harm them and puts all their animosity upon them. And I think this is where a lot of the animosity is coming from. So a powerless white man from Europe comes to the Americas and becomes his own, right? And he really does a number on the African. And they're still doing that. I was, hope you guys could still hear me. Hope it's still going on. Yeah, I can't see a thing because it's very bright out here. But I hope you can see me and hear me, that it's still running. But imagine, what was I going to say now? Oh, sorry, I forget what I was going to say. But yeah, so you have this mindset of new power, new sense of power. And they just go crazy. You have to really start looking what you're doing. It has to stop. See, I think also, that you may feel white America, and again, not all white people are evil, but I think that most white people are brainwashed. I think most people couldn't care less about other people, but there's a programming being done, a real program, and this is also demonstrated, this programming, and I don't even think it was conscious to some degree, with Aubrey, the black jogger who had just briefly looked inside a house that was under construction, and it was open. And I was listening to it's a trial going on, a pre-trial. It's on YouTube, so anyone could look. And it's about 50-something minutes. And they discuss what happened. One of the detectives has been the account, moment by moment, what led up to everything. Well, as most of you know, Aubrey was a jogger, an avid jogger. And he had been in that area before. Okay, I think he got murdered on the 23rd of February. But on February 11, he was also there. Now, it wasn't clear to me in the description whether or not he went inside on the 11th or he was just seen on camera on the 11th, because one of his killers said that he saw him in a video once. I mean, not video, the security camera and somebody else, something like that. But it wasn't clear whether he went inside, but just because he was passing by the camera, I don't know. He wasn't specific on that. And so the day of him being killed, the day that he was murdered, when they saw him, they went to chase him. And I have to back up a little bit about all that now. So Aubrey was passing by a house that's under construction. It was to be a vacation home for the owners. And when he entered, now he walked into the premises. He didn't run into it, but he stopped, paused, and then he enters. And a neighbor across the street saw, and he called the cops, and he stayed out there. And then he also saw when Aubrey left. As he is jogging Aubrey, this father and son sees him and is remembering, I think it was the father remembering that he saw Aubrey, or allegedly saw Aubrey, in footage before of that house that's under construction. And it's not even his house that's being constructed. He and the son got their, what do you call it? I forget what you call it, a pistol and a shotgun. And then they went to chase him, to get him. And in the process of doing that, the guy, Aubrey's trying to, once he caught up with Aubrey, he's trying to get out the way. And he went on somebody's driveway. And the owner of that driveway was the actual person that took the video of the shooting. And that person who was taking the video said, "Did you get him? Did you get him?" Says no. So he volunteers to help capture Aubrey. Okay. Now none of those people involved, the father and son and this other guy that that the owner of the house that I think they went on his driveway to escape. Aubrey was trying to escape. They didn't know what he did. Oh, the father and son that murders Aubrey said, well, we saw him running. We didn't know whether he was running from someone or to someone. And so we went to, and as they went together, they brought immediately their weapons to use it. And they only used it on him, Aubrey, Mr. Aubrey. Isn't that something? Someone who's just jogging and immediately, and it's not their property, assume that because he's running. And I don't think they saw him run from the house. They just saw him down the road. They said, well, we saw him in the camera, the surveillance camera, and the owners of that house never reported any theft. So it turns out that the person doing the video, oh, nice music. The person taking the video, I was really confused before when I first heard of this story, why they were thinking about arresting the person doing the video. I thought it was in retaliation because his lawyer gave the copy of the video to the media. But no, during this pre-trial, this is what happened. That videographer, I'll call him the videographer, got involved in the capture of Mr. Aubrey, and he chased him with the car, and there is evidence that he hit Aubrey with the car because upon examination of that person's vehicle, both of them had trucks, okay? On the back, on the side of the truck, the bed, the liner, the truck, had these cotton fibers of the shirt that Aubrey was wearing and a dent below. So he hit him. He used his vehicle to get him, and there was an impact. And then they finally cornered him. And the description about how they killed him, he had 3 shots upon his body, Mr. Aubrey. The first shot hit the center of his chest. The other 2, one hit his wrist, and the other, the top, either the top left or the top right of, I think it was the top left of his near his shoulder. Yeah. And when that happened, he ran, and then he collapsed and died. So this guy was a fighter. So the first bullet doesn't even kill him. He was still fighting them off. Was shot 2 more times. Now now see, that is a man, Mr. Aubrey. He was fighting back. He had his own valor, and he was fighting off his aggressors. Well, I think it's such a shame that it seems to be an unspoken word, unspoken rule, that you see a black man running, assume the worst, shoot and kill, and ask questions later. And it's sad that the person that shot him was a law enforcement person, a retired one. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Let me go through here. Yeah, I'm going to the ramble again. Yeah, I'm going back into the ramble. Oh, it's nice and shaded here, so I can remove the covering. Okay. Yeah, that's what happened. So it's an assumption that that you're a criminal. And see, this also has to do with slavery days, with the slave captures. It's so ingrained in the white European American psyche. Just that. I really start to wonder, what sorrow do they have? Do they have any sorrow just to find out? Oh, I almost forgot. Well, see, the detective that's given his testimony about what happened at the pre-trial, which is today, he said that, he was asked, is there any footage of, in any other occasion, people entering this construction site of a house being built? He says, in fact, yes. There are several groups of people that we have on camera that visited the place. And in fact, they were kids. I forget whether he said little kids, young kids, or he said they were kids. And they went in and they took some wood. But interesting, when he's recounting this, the detective, he kind of dismissed it, oh, it's just kids, and they just took some pieces of wood, like that. Now that is theft, right? Right? So, how come the people that chase Mr. Aubrey? Why didn't he chase those kids when they see them in the neighborhood again and use the shotgun to shoot them? See that? See how justice is always lopsided with white America? You see that? See that? Sorry. You see how that happens? So I think it's sad. I think it's very, very sad how, I'll take this road here, the left. Yes, I think it's very sad how people are so quick to pull the trigger to a black person, not ask questions. They have a problem about black people obtaining anything. If they think that you took even a grain of sand of their property, they're going to shoot you dead. But it's okay if kids steal. They didn't chase them, right? They were in the camera. But the owner never reported a theft. So I don't know how these killers were able to have access to the camera, right? There's a camera. So I don't understand how they have access unless the owner's not saying something. But the owner says they had nothing to do with calling the cops on Aubrey. In fact, because it has a security system that anyone who enters signals their security system, and then they contact the owner. Okay? And but the owner said nothing was ever taken. So why these neighbors of theirs, so the future neighbors, why they're so vigilant? And here, the third person, the one who took the videos, why without knowing what was going on, why did he get involved? See, that's important to know. It's very important. Oh, I see some chairs there. Yeah, I'm gonna find a shade. Wow, I am tired. Yeah, but isn't that something? Why did he feel necessary to get involved? Well, it's an unspoken rule among whites to arm yourselves. I'm going to put this down. To arm yourself and to shoot black people because they are up to something. They are considered your enemy. Okay? So I asked myself, what with thieves? See, a thief is very greedy. Oops. Sorry. I gotta put this back on. See, a thief. Oops. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, a thief is very. Leave it. A thief is very greedy. Oh, okay. Oh, the camera turned around. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying to get the little doggies out. this stroller. Leave that. Yeah, a thief is very greedy. And when a thief feels that they've been thieved, oops, sorry. When a thief feels that they've been thieved, they are ruthless. Okay, sorry. Let's move out the way, baby. Car's coming. Come on, let's move out the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Whew. Wow. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I had to get the little babies out. Yeah. So when a thief feels that they've been cheated, they overreact. And I see, as it seems to be redemonstrated over again in history, when some white people feel that they've been wronged or someone takes, especially if it's a black person, they go all out. What if the Indians, Native American Indians, what if they say, you know, you're a thief, and every time I see you, I feel that you're going to take more of our property, right? Wouldn't they have a right? Okay, get the water there. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm yeah, trying to. Yeah, good girl. We're going to get that. Good girl. Yeah, wouldn't they, excuse me, wouldn't the Indian have a right? Hey, how you doing, Kim? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm out and about at the Ramble, the infamous Ramble from that guy. Oh, what's his name? What's it? Oh, Christian Cooper. Remember that? Christian Cooper. Yeah, he came to the Ramble. The Ramble is actually big. It's a section in Central Park that is like a reserve. It has a lot more vegetation and, yeah, a lot more vegetation, and you have a lot of more birds and everything. It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So, yeah, in fact, this is my favorite spot now. I mean, this Ramble is absolutely beautiful. It's very quiet, and nature lovers seem to come here, and I like that. Yeah. So let me get them more water. Yeah, see that? Yeah. So let me get them more water. Put this down. But yeah, what if there was Native American Indians, and they would say, you know, you took my land. I didn't ask for you to come. You weren't invited. You weren't invited. Uh, you have to get off the land. There are plenty of treaties that were done in the U.S. that were broken by the European Americans. We are all the Indians. Yeah, yeah. Figuratively speaking, yes, we are. Very true. So, yeah, I'm very saddened about Aubrey. Yeah, if you didn't know, viewer, that Aubrey, the jogger, the black jogger that was shot dead by uh, this father and son team, that's quiet. That's quiet. Let's quiet. Let's quiet. Sorry. Let's get in. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Let's stop this. See, knock over the water. Why you knock over the water? Come on. Let's cut that out. Yeah, he's a good boy, but he'll bark at every dog. Yeah. It is what it is. So let me just move this. Well, I'm trying to. Yeah, they need the water Okay, now let me put it here. It's like every time I move the water lavin somewhere, you're gonna knock it over. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. I hate that, but I love him to death though. But yeah, what was I saying now? You were saying that we're all Indians. Yes. But yeah, the Indians could say the same thing. Hey, get off our land. And, oh, I think I remember what I was going to say. That, see, when you have a thief, and European Americans are the biggest thieves on this planet, you know, and even despite that, the indigenous people of the planet are still willing to share. You know, we just want to live and let live. You know, me, I like nature. I just want to be happy, you know. I have a roof over my head, food, um, sense of family and community. What more do you need, you know? That's me. Because I've been in the corporate world, and the corporate world is a greedy world. Yeah, I used to work in finance. And the higher up I went, now I wasn't anything high up, you know, but the higher up I went, or the more prestigious the location, the department, and all that, the more evil and greedy these people were. And they're very racist. Yeah, New York City is a very racist town. See, we like to think that they're all liberal. No, you know, they might be liberal, but a liberal just means that certain lifestyles they want to live, but it doesn't mean that they love black people. Let me just pick this up. Let me pick this up, their little potty. Yeah, I got to pick up after my doggy. Oh, I missed that, viewer. Oh, yeah, I'm not even sure what time it is, but let me put this down. Yeah, so, but just imagine, um, you have people whose this land is theirs, and then you have the people who were brought here as slaves. Aren't we entitled to see? See, they want us to say, "Oh, we forgive you," but forgiveness and reparations are two separate things. They're two separate issues. You could be forgiving, but forgiving doesn't mean that it releases the other person of responsibility. You go to any court of law, someone does something to you, and you could say in court, you know, I forgive them, but they destroyed my house in the fire. You gotta pay up, right? But see, with European Americans, they want to keep. They have such a stronghold over this land, and they don't want to. They don't believe in sharing. That's what I see. And I notice that when they become afraid, when they get outnumbered, that they all of a sudden want to hook up with some other type of ethnic minority, right? Especially in Hawaii. I used to live in Hawaii, and you saw the same BS. You have a lot of poor whites, a lot of drug addicts from the West Coast, you know, the U.S. mainland, and they go to Hawaii. And they try to hook up with a so-called local person slash person of color, and I think they're phony. What? What? You got your water. You got your water. Oh, I forgot the little treats. What do you want? What do you want? What, you want more? I don't have any treats for you. I forgot their treats. Well, I fed them before we left. Yeah, what do you want? I don't have any treats for you. I forgot to bring it. But we ate before we left, so that was like a half an hour ago. Yes? Yes? You stop barking like that. You want to sit up here? Oh, see, she's running away. I come and try to grab. Oh, okay. She's going on her her two legs. Come, I'm trying to get you. Come, come here, come. See, that's the culprit. Yeah, this is lilac. I love it to death. Hey, how you doing? Also, yes. I don't have my glasses on. Let me see if I get my glasses because I can't read the messages. I hope I brought my reading glasses. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay. Yeah, I can't see anything. I can't read without my reading glasses. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I have the two nose rings, the piercings, and yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I think with all this, with all these killings, um, I think it's all by design that you have people higher up who want to instigate a race riot. And I've been saying this for a couple of years now. See, the other people that were slaughtered, they were hoping that would trigger it off, but it didn't. So they really, and I think also why it's picking up momentum is because it's election year. Okay, it's election year, and they want to. Uh, I think they want to delay the elections. And so if you have a race riot or martial law, see, that's what I see. They want to put up martial law. But whatever what's done, I think blacks have to be careful. They're trying to instigate within the black community because they know we're reactive, okay? And you know what else I noticed? See, blacks in America, we're no longer the largest minority group here.
Is it true?
Huh?
Is that true? Is that true? Is
Yeah,
that true? Our current is
yeah,
reflecting
yeah.
us more than average, like more than 3%?
Oh, I'm doing a video right now.
I'm sorry.
I'm doing a video right now.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, but
There are
that. No,
other
no.
things in
No,
your
get
video.
down. Yeah, yeah. So what I was saying, okay. Um, so what I was saying, yeah, I don't know whether I got her or not on this. Yeah. See, they just walk up to you. See, if I did that to them and just walk up to them, oh, they're trying to hurt me, right? She's talking to herself. I knew she was crazy. There's something about her I didn't like. Yeah, yeah. Take care. Yes, yes. You take care too, Rajan. Yeah. So if, what was I saying? Oh, with the reparations. See, with reparations, see, they want us to react. They want us to get violent. And so they usher in martial law. But don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. And tell your children, stay at home. Stay at home and stay alive. If there's a curfew, yeah, there's a curfew here now in New York City. And so um, those curfew hours, you stay at home, read a book, get your health in shape. That couple, those two students. Now I saw the video of the two students who got accosted by those cops big time. I did a video on that also. But you know what? With the young man, the 22-year-old man who was doing the driving. See, he had his cell phone and he wanted to take videos of the person on the ground. Okay, that was a no-no. See, he wasn't paying attention to the police officer And I'm not sure what the police officer may have initially said to go and then to stop or whatever. I have to watch that again. But either way, he needed to pay attention to the road, not in the melee. Okay? And it I think it exasperated, with these. See, if you already see that the cops on edge and someone's on the ground, whatever, they're on a heightened state, okay? So he lacked wisdom about just keep your hands on the wheel, stop videotaping, and he was talking to the cop, whatever. No, he shouldn't have been saying one damn thing. Just stay quiet, get your woman out, okay? You come in, you come out. Don't say anything, don't have your camera. I couldn't believe that. But it was awful what happened to him and his girlfriend. It was an evil what happened to him. So I hope they learn something. Take care of business and get out. Don't stop, look, whatever. And it's sad that these cops, some of them were black. And they did a number. See, a lot of these cops and the black cops, many of them are Masons. Many. See, they never seem to talk about that. See, the Black Lives Matter movement and all that stuff, it's Masons and Masonry, and about overtaking the planet, overtaking the indigenous people. What is Masonry about? Masonry is about building. What are they building? They're building a new world order. Okay, what do you think is the way forward against these hate-related crimes? Very good question, Rajan. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I think the first thing, there's several things. You have to address what happened. What happened is a theft of a continent and people being kidnapped and enslaved for several hundred years, and then the maltreatment of those people. Okay? You have to address that. And just saying sorry is not enough. You have to repair. So, right now, what's happening, see, symbolically, every black person, quiet, let's quiet. Symbolically, every black person has a wound, a bloody wound. Let's cut it out. Cut it out, Lavin. All of them. All of them got a bloody wound. And why they have a bloody wound is because we were violated. We were violated. And they never put a bandage over it. So us walking around, we act like we're wounded. Many of us don't like ourselves. You even have people saying that they're not even black anymore or African American. They'll say that they're an Indian. Get that. So if you don't even like what your race is and inventing a history that's not yours, of course there are people who are mixed with Indian. I know of some. I know blacks who are mixed with Indian. Okay? It's not an anti-Indian rant. Not at all. But you have people who are so ashamed of their history, and if you walk around with a shame collar on you, other people will see it and then mistreat you too. When people sense someone is wounded and they're insecure as well, they get off on that. And so anytime they see you, they will let them know that they have a supremacy over you. Again, remember, in the very beginning of this video, I talked about that this country was started by Britain under the crown, and you have people in that society that the crown had access to, even the women in their own country. They had a right to take a woman's virginity, let's say before her wedding night, and they could have access to her and shame the future husband. That was their right as a king, to do evil like that. The people weren't able to purchase, have land. Why are you barking? quiet. The people, I do agree. We should start talking about the history. Yeah, you always have to start with the source, and the source is how did we get here? Virtually every black person here, whether they're from the Caribbean, whether from North America, Central or South America, they were brought here in in chains. And then you have the indigenous people, the people that were here at the time of Columbus. You have those people. What happened to those people? Well, in North America, they're put on reservations. And what's happening to them on the reservation? They're dying like flies. Do you know that they set up these, what do you call it, these bars or whatever, places that sell alcohol, run on the border of the reservation so that people could come and take it and get intoxicated? Yeah, that when an Indian, Native American Indian takes alcohol, it does something to the mind. And I met an Indian at a party that I went to, and someone had given him alcohol. And I'm not over exaggerating. He was literally rolling on the floor. Yes. No, I'm not. I'm not even a drop Indian. I am a typical Caribbean girl. I'm a woman of Caribbean ancestry. My grandparents came here. I'm of a black and white mix, period. And I did get my DNA and the regular, history, oral history. Yeah. I'm 53% African and 47% European. I have not a drop of Indian blood. But a lot of people who are mixed race, because the shame that was attached to have that a white man having sex with the African woman, they had to cover. It was a shame, and so they attribute their looks with being Indian, that they looked the way they did because of Indian blood. No, it's not. It's not, and they know it. Those other people know it too. And we see in those, there's a researcher that was doing their DNA, not a drop of Indian in their blood. Okay? There's nothing wrong being Indian. If you have Indian blood, more power to you. But these people here who are black and want to hide their history. See, I'm no longer ashamed about having that history of my African ancestors being brought here as slaves. I'm not ashamed of that. Those white people should be ashamed. I built a continent. I built a continent and we were strong and powerful. See, that is a way for us, in part, to help liberate ourselves. If you don't accept your history, get over here, come. If you don't accept your history, then you're saying that you're already defeated, okay? You're saying you're defeated. No, embrace your history and shame the devil, as they say. Yeah. So you have to recognize what history, accept what you don't have to like the history, accept it and learn from it and empower yourself with it. Okay? And so this matter of reparations has to be addressed to possibly the UN, because because what happened to us was it involved many many European nations, wealthy European nations. See, don't you notice the rich countries of Europe? That's a fabricated history. Blacks were on board over slave ships. Oh, really? So what about those slaves that brought into Alabama? Okay, it's called the last slave ship. It was a bet that was done that they could smuggle more slaves because it was a stop on the importing of slaves. But you can, whatever slaves you have, you just try to breed them, okay? Okay, yeah, I'm going to still, okay, what do you think will be the better president candidate? That's a good question too. I don't know, because I don't care for, what's his name, Joe Biden. I would not vote for him. Right now, I have to be honest, right now, I don't, see, I'm not 100% behind Trump. I did vote for Trump in the last election. I did. I want to be honest. And I don't regret that. However, I am concerned about, wait a minute, Lily. Okay, I don't, sorry. My doggies are acting up. I don't know why they're doing this. You want to come up? Your money. Your feet are money. I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up. Yeah. So I dropped water. Let's sit down, baby. Sorry. I couldn't get all what you said. I'm not sure who I'm going to vote for in the presidential election. Um, things are getting out of hand. So I don't know yet, but that's a good question. But in answering the thing about the Indian thing, um, you know, that, see, you have to, I think Phyllis Gabbard will be great, but she, is out of president race. Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, I feel that you have to accept yourself and you have to have your Pohatan. Okay. Okay, your message was retracted. Okay. Yeah, this is not an attack on people who have Native American blood. Not at all. Okay. Uh, this is about people claiming their true identity. See, if you're not claiming your real identity, then you're still a slave. You are still a slave. And so the plight of those who were born here as slaves, and plus I do have documentations of, see, my family, slavery happened in the Caribbean, and I have access to their so-called liberation papers. Yes, I kid you not. Why are you barking? Oh, you want more water? Okay. I have the papers, the freedom papers. I have the papers of when they got married. Yeah, I have the papers of the new slave names. I have that. So slavery did happen. Okay, the phone. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My phone was calling. Okay. Yeah, so I have all those papers. So you're telling me all the people in the Caribbean that they were there. You have the ports, what do you call it, the dungeons and stuff where they kept the slaves that were shipped over. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. In Alabama, there's a thing called the last slave ship. And this was, the slave ship was brought over in 1863, just 2 years before the Civil War. Okay, and as you know, the Civil War hit, and the people were freed. They know where they came from. They came on slave ships, and it's called Africa Town. So you can just Google Africa Town in Alabama. Come here, Lila. Get the water. Get the water. Yeah, you just check it out. See, it's not about that. You have to accept. You don't have to like, but you have to accept history. And yes, most of us were brought in on slave ships, but that's not something to be ashamed of. That's something that happened. Take it as a badge of pride that you were worthy because you were so powerful. You made this continent great. You look at those churches, look in the Caribbean and in Mexico. You know who built those churches, those fancy big churches? African slaves from Angola. And then you're going to lie and say, oh, it never happened. You're not honoring the ancestors who did come here on slave ships. Okay? You got to start reading history. Yes, there are people, indigenous people here. They might come in different colors, but there's a distinction. There is a distinction between the different groups. In Illinois, there is a cave, and the cave has artifacts of the different major groups. They have the European-looking person, the African, and then the like the so-called Middle Eastern type person. They were in coins. And there was this cave in Illinois. It was like an initiation site, a meeting place for different groups. The Americas was known of. Yeah, the Americas wasn't discovered by Columbus or Americus Vespucci. Not at all. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of hidden things with regard to the U.S., why it's such a stronghold for white America. It's something about it's like a headquarters. And again, the U.S. is in connection with Britain, okay? And you notice the British have this preoccupation with race. And the royal family, as I said, that they have the divine rule. Well, what is that? What is meant by that? Well, in a nutshell, it's about what they call the Anunnaki. And I think those people from outer space, I think they do exist. Spaceships exist. I had seen, I had a vision once. I was doing a meditation session, and I saw a fleet of spaceships. Yeah, it was really something. It's a fleet, and this was, I saw the fleet, it could have been in February, January or February, a whole fleet. I think something is up, and I think all the things that are happening right now might be associated with this fleet. See, there's a so-called spiritual warfare, and I think this spiritual warfare is really about technology. I don't know whether it's really spirits versus technology. And it could be the technology that they could mentally project their thoughts upon individuals. They could make things move, all that stuff. I think there's technology, not spookism. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it spookism or is it technology? Or both? Yeah. So yeah, today is the what do you call it, the memorial for Mr. Floyd. Yeah. So yeah. So live life to the fullest. You know, enjoy your pets and everything. Enjoy all those beautiful things because you never know. Someone stupid might come up to you and take advantage. Yeah. So I bring my little doggies with me. You know. I want to get my little exercise. Yeah, I want to enjoy life. Life isn't about just a 9 to 5 job and hating people because what race they are. I'm not, see, I'm not about, see, it's not about revenge and anger. I mean, sometimes you can get really angry, but it's not about just doing revenge because you're angry. It's about life. It's about living. I just want to live in peace. I want, peace and prosperity for everybody on the planet. You know? How you doing? Bye bye. Stay. Good girl. Yeah, I don't want my little girl to jump because she had the surgery. Yeah, so life is really about living. Look at all this beauty. See that? Life is seeing this beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? It's beautiful out here, you know? And it's not about money. See, they want to fool you. See, part of the matrix, I'm sorry, I was going to hang up, but I want to finish this also. See, money is the trap. Money is the matrix. Money is an artificial construct. but yet they have everybody dependent on a piece of paper. Now money is going to be electronic. You hear that? Money won't be on piece of paper anymore. It's going to be electronic. Everything on computer. So again, another made up thing. Everything, you could create numbers and decrease it or increase it. But it's the matrix. Money is what drives this matrix. And I had said one time, I said, I want to get out of this matrix. I want to find out how to get out of the money matrix. People kill for money. Did you know why Mr. Floyd, why he died? Because the store clerk claimed that the money that he paid for his cigarettes was not real. So to die over a pack of cigarettes, don't smoke anymore, anybody, you black people, don't smoke anymore. Don't smoke anymore. It's not good for you anyhow. Don't smoke. And plus, I think he was lied upon by the clerk when they said that he was drunk and belligerent. And he told that to the cops. So the cops roughed him up. So the only thing, know, counterfeit. Who is your biggest inspiration? Oh, that's a nice question. Um, I don't have any specific person that's my biggest inspiration. I've met a lot of people in my life um, who were nice, um, but not one specific person. Um, but I appreciate those people who showed me kindness, and I want to show kindness to other people. Yeah, so what's given to me, I want to be able to give to other people. It feels good when people treat you nicely, and so I want to treat other people nicely. And I have to admit, sometimes I feel I get a little edgy because all this stuff happening recently with the virus thing and with the killings and stuff like that. Well, in my heart, I would say I I like meeting different types of people. Yeah, I was always like that. Always like that. Yeah. So, you have any more questions before I go? You have any questions regarding the money system? Yeah, money is the lie because it gets us fighting. It gets people so stressed out that they drink. They drink themselves to death. They start to mistreat coworkers. Or we got to get the quota done. We got to get the quota done because it's all about money. But money's not really real. Yeah, you don't see cows and lions and squirrels. They don't have a bank. They don't have jobs. But it was imposed on you by the system. And I think it's the same system where the royal people come from. Yeah, yeah, money, lust is self-destruction. Yeah, Rajan. Yeah, exactly. It's the trap. Money is the real trap that's entrapping us. It is the matrix. It's what keeps it going. It's what keeps you um, having to perform and not just slack off, right? And so I think with the movie The Matrix, that is very accurate. You have to create something to keep the battery going. Yeah, I have meditated, and I haven't been meditating as much now. Um, but I was meditating I started in 2014. 2014 or 2015, I started meditating for the first time. And your brain, I don't understand how it works, but in my meditation session, I started seeing things. I started seeing like I was, it it seemed as though I was seeing through the eyes of the person that I'm seeing. Some of it looked like it was like a TV screen, like a flat screen, and other times it's like I'm actually there, that I'm seeing through eyes of people who are physically at another location. So I don't know. Oh, and sometimes I've seen like, you ever seen an old-fashioned TV set, and when it's a bad channel, like static, you see those little horizontal scratchy lines? I saw that also. I said, I'm seeing a screen. I'm wondering whether the things that we're seeing really is a, what do you call it, a hologram. Sorry. This all could be a hologram. Our minds could be actually connected to something. There is Art of Living organization that teaches about meditation. I loved it. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to find out what happened. I don't know whether um, I was doing, in essence, remote viewing. Was it a past life? I saw things I didn't understand, and that was also including the spaceships that I saw. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on. And again, I saw the little lines, like a TV screen with the static, with the horizontal lines. It's like like they rebooting the channel. Yeah, this all could be. We could be actually. Did you hear? Did you hear? It was this year. It could have been maybe 2 months ago. They were asking people who they're like on their last leg, in the hospital. They were offered for them to be put their mind to be put in a computer. I kid you not. Yeah, there's a movie like that too. There is a movie that shows that. Yeah. So this is a reality. So if they can upload your consciousness in a computer and see and experience different realities, this could be a reality, a false reality also. Yeah. It could be a reality within a reality within a reality, like a fractal. Life is a fractal. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't understand it, but there's something going on. And I think all this is, is to change the system into a new system. And then once that is up, then the new people take seniority, whatever. Yeah. But I say, black people have to step up. We have to step up and we have to address our issues. I think we should go to the UN and demand reparations. I think all the Americas, whether you're Brazilian, you should go to as a collective and demand reparations. See, what they know, when your former oppressors know that you have power, they're either going to back off or they want to try to be your friend. Okay? Yeah. It's time for true reparations, true empowerment, and controlling your own destiny, your own community. So that's about it that I have to say right now. Yeah. So I'm going to enjoy this nature and, you know, yeah. Yeah, life is to be enjoyed. So I thank you guys for listening and watching. And, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to show those people. Yeah, I want to enjoy all this. See, this beautiful. Yeah, so Rajan, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace, guys. Bye-bye.